Hello guys and welcome back to the FPL Duo. We are back for the team selection stream for Gameweek 9, where we look ahead to the week ahead. We'll also discuss our transfer plans. We'll also discuss, how our teams have done from the previous game week as well. But yeah, how you doing, Jordan? How's your week gone so far?
Yeah, it's good so far. Hopefully everyone has having a nice week as well. And yeah, it's a lot of talking points, obviously, from Game Week 8, followed by Game Week 9 to talk about. A lot of twists and turns and injuries, but yeah, we're here to discuss it all.
Yeah, looking forward to this one. So let's start off with Game Week 8 review. So let's review the Game Week 8 points. It wasn't a great week for me in terms of FPL anyway. So looking at my team, in goal I had Raya. We know Arsenal did lose to, was it Bournemouth 2-0, which was a shock result. I don't think anyone saw that one coming. They did lose 2-0 in the end. I thought Raya had a bit of a stinker in that game as well, giving away the penalty. Gabriel obviously conceded in that one as well. Man City again conceding yet again. I think they've only kept like one clean sheet for the season. So, was it one or two clean sheets? But Lewis unfortunately doesn't score. However, his teammates, two defenders, Stones and Vardy, will actually score in that match. But I'm hoping Lewis will get me some goals or assists moving forward. But yeah, blank for him. Van der Ven blanked as well in their win against West Ham. Mikalenko, lucky auto sub. He does come in for his clean sheet after their win. He comes on for Saka after we know Saka did miss out. Midfield, nothing to shout about. And Burmo blank as well as Palmer. Rogers does pick up the goal for a 6-pointer, which was very nice. And up front, Haaland blanks yet again. However, he did score last night. I think he got 2 goals in the Champions League. So, he's back in form and hopefully ready to go on a weekend. Maybe he only got me 2 points. My captain, Solanke and Calvert-Lewin don't help much really in terms of the blanks. They've also done nothing really this game week. So all in all, the only 2 returns for my team was Rogers and Mikalenko. Apart from that, it's been a pretty shocking game week. In the bench, Fabianski, Saka, Greaves, and Semenyo. That leaves me with 30 points, which is one of the lowest scoring weeks I've had in a long time. Here's a red arrow down to 2.8 million now, and hopefully I have a much better game week 9.
Okay.
We'll do the same for you, Jordan. Recap us your game week 8. Obviously, you had a bit of a better week than I did.
Yeah, a little bit better, but still a bit quiet. Obviously, goalkeeper Helmerson, no clean sheet for him. Massive score against each other in that Southampton game. In terms of the back three, no clean sheets nor any returns from Robertson, Fires, and Gabriel. They all conceded to their opposing team, so I won't really talk about that much. But on terms of midfield, a bit more success. Obviously, Palmer was silenced against Liverpool. Had a little bit of goal involvement, but not much to get him any returns. Rogers got 6 points for...
I think you've just gone there, Jordan. Oh, sorry guys, do bear with me. Jordan will come back into the stream. I'll just remove him. Yeah. So we'll just wait till Jordan fixes his technical issues. I think are you back?
Oh, I didn't even realise I went.
Yeah, you completely back. You completely went.
So apologies.
Yeah, you're gone for at least like 20 seconds. Sorry, you were saying?
Oh yeah, in terms of the midfield, Salah with his double haul, 12 points with his goal and assist and bonus points. McNeil managed to get an assist and a clean sheet point in that 2-0 win over Ipswich. Up front, we got Haaland again, another blank with 4 points, disappointing. And Chris Wood with 7 points by scoring the only goal in that Nottingham Forest and Crystal Palace game. And disappointing on the bench as well. Keane with the double haul, 14 points. Kind of regret benching him after that massive haul. And the rest of the bench, obviously, not really much talk about. Robertson with 1 point. And the non-playing players obviously scored 0. It is a green arrow, though. 3.9 million with 46 points. So regardless of how quiet the week has gone, it was a great week in terms of points for my team.
Okay, so that's sort of game week 8 out the way. let's bring up our teams for Game Week 9 and discuss what we're going to do with our teams. So let's start off with my team. In the defence, I am playing Raya in goal. He's got Liverpool at home. And again, I don't expect a clean sheet for Arsenal in this one. It is a tough game. I do expect them to concede. But I'm going to play Raya anyway because I don't really have anyone else in terms of the bench playing goalie. In the back three, currently I'm lining up with Gabriel, Lewis and Van der Ven. I think Gabriel's got a tough game against Liverpool. Lewis has Southampton at home, and hopefully he can keep a clean sheet in this one. I expect a clean sheet from Man City in this one, but you never know. Where the way they've been playing, they seem to concede in every game at least one goal. Van der Ven finishes off the team. He's got Palace away. He could be one that potentially goes out my team. We'll discuss that in a second. Moving on to the midfield four. As you can see, currently Saka is on the team. He's flagged. Now, my transfers do sort of revolve around Saka, so I'll come on to him in a moment. The rest of the team I'm very happy with. Mbeumo's got a lovely fixture against Ipswich at home. We know Brentford have just lost to Man United in Game Week 8. So I think Mbeumo is going to want to bounce back in that one and sort of get back to his goal-scoring form, which I think he can do against Ipswich. Rodgers has a good fixture against Bournemouth at home, so I'm excited to see what he can do. And then Palmer has a fixture against Newcastle at home. I know he's very quiet against Liverpool, but I think this is a great fixture for Palmer. With the way Newcastle have been playing as well, I've not been too impressed with them. And I think I think it's a really good fixture for Palmer in this one. So I can see him getting a goal or maybe a couple of goals. We'll see. Into the attack, same as usual. I'm going with the three again. Haaland is my captain against Southampton. I am considering it, triple captaining. As you guys know, I did mention it last week. He did actually score 2 goals. Scored a lovely goal actually with a back in midair. So again, it's risky obviously after the couple of blanks he's had. But in terms of one-off fixtures, this is probably the best fixture you can get in Southampton at home. So we'll see if I triple captain him. But at the moment, I'm not so sure. I might just go for the standard captain. He's got Southampton at home. Solanke has Palace away. Now, again, I wasn't too happy with Solanke last game as I felt like he was dropping too deep and not getting involved with the likes of Son and Johnson in the attack. But it's a good game for him. I think Palace have been quite poor this season. Fair to say they've still not won a game. So it is a good game for Spurs, and I'd expect Solanke to get on the score sheet. And Calvert-Lewin is a really nice game as well. He's a home game. Fulham have been good, to be fair to them this season, but Calvert-Lewin is getting involved in the attacks, and I do think he needs to start scoring for me soon, or he could be taken out of the team. On the bench, Fabianski, Semenyo, Mikolenko, and Greaves. I also have 2 free transfers and 0.1 million in the bank. So I got 2 free transfers to make, and what I'm planning on doing for the transfers is 2 players I'm looking to take out the team. One is Saka, and one is Van der Ven. So those are the 2 players that I think I can sort of remove. Saka's an obvious one. I think I'm going to take him out. The fixtures are tough. They've got Liverpool, Newcastle, and Chelsea now, 3 games in a row. Saka is currently flagged. Now, he's 25% likely to play, according to FPL's website. However, I think that's a bit, I wouldn't trust those figures. Because I think Saka is 100% going to play against Liverpool on the weekend. Just my guess and no info. I think he'll be fine. I think, Arteta's playing a bit of mind games, and I think he should be fine. I know he didn't play in the Champions League, but I'd be very, very surprised if Saka doesn't start against Liverpool. And Van der Ven's going out my team just because of budget reasons, and the other player I'm bringing in just fits the budget a lot better. So the players I'm looking to bring in replace of these 2 are Son and Ryan Ait-Nouri of Wolves, as you'll see on the screen. So that does leave me with quite a bit of money in the bank. I just want to double check it is 0.5, but I'm not sure it exactly is. I'll have a quick look. So Saka out, Son in, and I'm going to leave. Greaves is still thing, isn't he?
Yeah, still red flag.
Sorry, it's 0. Yeah, he leaves me with 0.4.
0.4.
Yeah, 0.4, but it's still fine. He leaves me with 0.4 million. But the reason I like these moves is because Son is on. He's on good form. We saw on that day against West Ham, he scored a goal, got an assist, but got taken back away from him. I don't know if you saw that. He did get removed in the end, his assist, which was good. I think that was fair that he didn't get the assist. But he is involved in the attack. He's the main man for Spurs still, I think. And I do like his fixtures coming up. They're better fixtures than Saka. So for me, it makes sense. Downgrade, take a bit of money out of the team. And Nate Newry for me is a bit of a no-brainer as well. Maybe not this week because he's got a tough game against Brighton away. So I can't even play someone like Mikalenko. We know Greaves is still flagged. But Newry has good long-term fixtures. He has an attacking threat. Wolves have picked up a bit of form. They've had a tough start to the season, and I think that has sort of made an impact on their results. But I've been impressed when watching Wolves, especially last week against Man City. Quite unlucky to lose that, in my opinion. Defended well, and I think Newry is a great attacking threat. And at 4.4 million, he's really good value for money. So he's someone I can hold long term. So that would probably be my moves: Newry and Son. Yeah. And that leaving me 0.4 in the bank as well, so I can, sort of, if I want to take out players next week, I have budget as well if I want to upgrade to another player.
Yeah, I think those moves are, two great moves, I think, because Newry, I think people underestimate how difficult fixtures have been for Wolves till now. I mean, Brighton's probably the last difficult one until Gameweek 18 when they play Man United. So they have a nice run of fixtures from Gameweek 10 all the way to obviously 17. So that's a good time, I think, just to bring him in, see what he does against Brighton. If he does nothing, he's got 9 more fixtures to deliver against. And obviously Son coming back from injury seems to be fine on all cylinders. Definitely prefer him to Werner, about 100 times better in that position on the left. Looks dangerous, and against the struggling Crystal Palace as well. I expect him to do really well in that fixture.
Yeah. Well, let's move on to your team. Talk us through your current boss team as well as your transfer plans as well.
So starting off in the goalkeeper and defence, we have obviously Hermanson to start off with, who's got Nottingham Forest at home. So a tough fixture. The way Nottingham Forest have been playing this season, I've been very impressed with them defensively. They've not really conceded that many goals. And it's going to be a tough one for Leicester, I think, in that game. Possibly no clean sheet for them. But Hermanson has been really good for me in terms of keeping save points when he hasn't got a clean sheet. So that is one of the reasons why I brought him into my team if he doesn't get a clean sheet. Moving on to the defence. So it is a bit of a clash because obviously you've got Robertson, who's got Arsenal away. And alongside him, you've got Gabriel, who's got Liverpool at home. So these two play against each other, which obviously creates sort of an issue because I don't expect a clean sheet from either team. So the best result I could probably hope for is a 0-0 or the attack return from either Robertson or Gabriel. But if one or the other comes, then it would be great in terms of the defence. So at least I get something out of one of them. And then obviously we've got Keane, who's got Fulham at home. And it looks like Everton have turned a new leaf in terms of their winning ways, because they did struggle for the first 5 game weeks, not really getting results. And now with obviously the easy difficulty fixtures out the way, you got a nice run of them, and they are returning. And obviously Keane, getting that double haul last week, I've definitely decided to play him this week, regardless of him having obviously Fulham, who have looked really good in terms of Raul Jimenez in that team. But that is the back 3 that I'm playing for this game week. Moving on to the midfield 5. So obviously line up with Palmer, who's got Newcastle at home. I'm very excited to see what Palmer does, because obviously after his blank against Liverpool, which we kind of all expected, it wouldn't be that high of a return from that game. The Newcastle, on the other hand, I feel like he'll get a bit more, success from that fixture. Even though Newcastle have been average, I think, in terms of that, but away, they have struggled a bit this season. So, Palmer at home, possibly captain worthy, I think, for this week, considering who has the difficulty fixtures. Let's move on to Rodgers, who has Bournemouth at home. Comes off of obviously a goal from obviously game week 8, so happy to play him against Bournemouth. Obviously Aston Villa have been playing really well in terms of the attack with Watkins and obviously Rodgers combined, and happy to play him for that fixture, 90-minute player. Moving on to Johnson, he was unlucky to not get anything in that 4-1 win in game week 8, but against a struggling Crystal Palace away, I'm hoping for some better results from him. Moving on to Salah, he's got a tough one this week against Arsenal away, but considering he played really well last game, it got a goal, and an assist. It doesn't doubt me that he may get something out of this game as well, because he does turn up, like we mentioned, in the bigger games against the challenging opponents. So yeah, quite happy to have Salah. He's kind of like a differential, especially when he was heavily transferred out last game week. And finally, to complete the lineup in the midfield, we've got McNeil. He's got Fulham at home. Comes off an assist in game week 8. So that does fill me with obviously confidence. Double Everton as well. Keane and McNeil in this fixture. So yeah, happy to. I will be keeping an eye on that game. It should be an interesting one in terms of the result. And hopefully McNeil equalises on his previous assist. And finally, moving on to the forward line, we have Haaland and Chris Wood. So Haaland is the captain again this week. I am determined to get a return from Haaland after having 3 blanks where I've captained him beforehand. Surely this Southampton game, he gets something out of this, because if he doesn't get a return that's significant enough, then I will look other places in terms of captaincy, because this is the last chance, final saloon for Haaland captaincy, I think, for me, in my opinion. And I think a lot of others are a bit frustrated as well for who have captained him in the last 3 and not had a significant return from him. Finally, moving on to the last player up front alongside him is Chris Wood, who has Leicester away. And yeah, I mean, Chris Wood doesn't score every game week, but he has had 5 goals so far this season, and he's just come up with another goal against Crystal Palace, and he has Leicester up next. So yeah, happy to play Chris Wood. He's kind of like a nice rank gainer. He has got a bit more ownership now, 14%. But while I had him at 10%, he's been really good in terms of returns for me in my team. And just to complete the rest of the team, obviously on the bench, we've got Vardy, Marston, non-playing goalkeepers, got Ipswich at home. Fies has got Nottingham Forest at home in the first team bench. Robertson has Everton away, and Wheatley has West Ham away. I do have 1 free transfer. There's no money in the bank. And yeah, I think for me at the moment, I am going to roll my transfer. I don't think I'm going to make any transfer moves. Obviously, that might change tomorrow in the deadline stream, but for now, I'm not really looking at a player at the moment to transfer out of my team. So yeah, I'm in that boat of possibly rolling my transfer over into the next game week.
Okay, nice one. So you're thinking of rolling, going for 2. I think your team looks pretty fine, to be fair.
Yeah, it's only really the Robertson and Gabriel clash, and obviously Salah. But apart from that, yeah, I'm happy with the team.
Okay, fair enough. And you're going to go defo Haaland captain, triple captain possibility at all, or?
No, triple captain I'm going to save, and that will be for another player.
No, fair enough. Let's take a few comments in the chat. Also, drop your comments, guys. Make sure you do hit the like button on the stream if you haven't already. Hit that like and make sure you are subscribed as well. Captaining Palmer v Newcastle, says Manish. Yeah, I mean, I think Palmer might have a good game against Newcastle, to be fair.
Yeah, definitely.
Thoughts on Saka? Sell or bench? I would sell, personally. Captain Salah or Palmer? I would go Palmer, I think, but again, Salah is one of those players that could really go big, I think. We know Arsenal are missing the likes of Saliba in their defence as well, but I probably would go with just Palmer because he is a home game for Palmer, isn't it? So
yeah, and it's I think a safer pick because it could be risky going with Salah because it's a tough fixture, but yeah, Palmer, I think.
Roman says, hi lads, wanted to ask about Welbeck. Obviously he's injured, so what do you think? Very tempted to go with Wissa or Raul Jimenez. Just any thoughts would be helpful. I like the Raul Jimenez shout. I also like Cunha at Wolves, so I would go with those options, Jimenez or Cunha. What would you reckon, Jordan? Would you keep the faith and go with would you go with Raul Jimenez or would you go with someone like a Cunha?
I think I'll go with Raul. That's a tough one. I'll take a punt on Wissa now that he's obviously back from injury, because I think he did play 20 or so minutes last game week and he has Ipswich at home. So it could be a nice differential alongside obviously a Burma who's more template. So I would be tempted to go Wissa for the fixture.
I've got Alexander in the chat as well. Roman says he's also looking to bring in Nuri. Ali Mack has said his DCL to Hoyland too risky. I would keep the faith with DCL personally, Ali Mack. I think DCL has a decent fixture this week. You give him one more game, I think, and then if he doesn't return, then maybe you can look at switching him out for Hoyland. Again, I'm not massive on Hoyland yet. I know he had a good game, scored a goal, but I will still keep one more game at least for DCL and then make my decision then.
Yeah.
But I think that's everything in terms of this. In terms of this stream, that's the team selection sort of out of the way, guys. Let us know your transfer decisions and your plans as well. What sort of thoughts you got on captaincy as well? If you're going to go Haaland, is anyone triple captaining Haaland? Let us know in the chat. But that's it from us for now. We're going to wrap it up. Thank you guys for watching. Anything else you'd like to add, Jordan?
I think that pretty much wraps it up. We're almost at the end of obviously midweek football again. It's been interesting watching it. But it is the return of Premier League tomorrow, so we'll have to see what happens then. But yeah, until then, guys, obviously take care. Thanks for watching.
Yes. So is it a Friday deadline? I've completely forgot. It's a Friday.
It is a Friday deadline this week, so yeah, it is a fast turnaround.
Yeah.
In between the midweek football.
Okay, so we're back tomorrow then. That means, aren't we?
It does. It is an early. Oh, yeah, it is an early deadline.
Yeah, 5:30. Sorry, 6:30 deadline. So we'll probably go live for 5:30. So yeah, tune in tomorrow, guys, for that stream. And have you seen any news on Diego Jota? We haven't. So again, we'll hopefully have more news for you tomorrow. As of now, I think he's bruised his ribs, but again, it's not 100% confirmed. Yeah, but thank you guys for watching.
Yeah.